A reunion involving man's best friend. Meet Bella, who disappeared from her family's home in Lansing, Michigan 3 years ago after she jumped the backyard fence. Well, Bella's owner, Justin, thought he would never see her again after the months turned into years, but she somehow found her way right on back to Jackson, 40 miles south of Lansing. We know that Bella was living with a family there, but got lost again, and that's when Animal Control was able to find her and scan her for a microchip.
Honestly thought that they had the wrong dog or number because he was from Jackson and I'm from Lansing. I didn't think that my dog Bella, would be down in Jackson. I thought that they just had a dog that might have looked like her, but he said they ran the chip.
I have to interrupt per YouTube regulation. Plus I want to give commentary. I want to bring your attention to this story that surfaced today, just a few hours ago. It was uploaded to their YouTube channel 8 hours ago. Okay, and it's a story about someone who lost their dog and found it. Literally nothing to run a story about. This happens all the time. Most cases are not reported by the media. So it was agenda based. This was about pushing bully breeds. That's all it was about. More specifically, it was about pushing bully breeds around children. Crazy as it may sound. Now, why do I say this? This is what I suspect. Okay, why do I suspect this? Okay, let's rewind the video. It's about someone's a family. The dog escaped somehow, right? But as soon as they show you anything, the first thing they show you is the dog with the child. As soon as it comes on, this is what you see. A child alone with the dog. That's the first thing they want you to know. That a small child is in the home. How crazy is that? Again, keep in mind, this is a recent story. And they're telling you about this mutt, this mutant beast, killer. These are killers. They're projecting as harmless, and they keep showing the dog. And they made sure that the child was on top of the dog, closest to the dog. They made the child and the dog the highlight. Everybody else surrounds them. Basically what it is, a child and a dog and a bunch of adults surrounding them, partially laying on this mutt. So they're, as they're doing what they always do. This is what they always do. Nonstop. This is part of pit bull culture. It's no surprise. But I thought it was interesting how also recently another one of these articles surfaced. These articles from Mike Masterson are odd because they just come out of nowhere. And out of nowhere, there's this anti-pit bull journalist whose articles are always on the front page. It is weird. It's like he's getting a push by Google. When I search pit bull, his articles are always at the top. Always. Titled Bitten Children. I mean, this gun-ho, almost gun-ho, anti-pit bull advocate every now and then comes out with an anti-pit bull article. Okay. And this surfaced, I think, a few hours ago. Yeah, a few hours ago. Just like that other article. And they talk about a study that they conducted. And of course, they found that kids were most at risk. But you have to look at what they wrote. And keep in mind of the other story that surfaced today that I just showed. Okay, they're talking about how kids are most at risk. Children treated for bites in hospitals, statewide, or bitten, mauled, smaller pets, blah. Okay, here it is. Those younger than 5 were more than 8 times as likely to require an operation. Those younger than 5, more than 8 times as likely to require an operation. Now, what he doesn't include in this article is that's the age range that's attacked most often, between ages 5 and 9. So the demographic that's attacked most often is also more likely to require operation, more likely to sustain severe injuries. Right? And they flaunt this type of stuff. Despite statistics like this, they flaunt them together. 5-year-olds, together with the most dangerous of all dogs, bully breeds. And they are more than 4 times as likely to be bitten on the head and neck. Dogs go for, especially bully breeds, vital organs. Go for the neck. They get scalped, right? That's a more severe injury. As we all know, they're more likely, they almost exclusively get their heads attacked. So it seemed like almost every report, the child's head or face. Okay, 8 times likely, 4 times likely to be bitten on the head and neck. Children older than 12, more than 3 times as likely to be bitten on an extremity. But I think that's the same with the adults. We're more likely to be bitten on the arm, the hand. Okay, the results of this retrospective review are aligned mostly with the general trends found in previous national and global studies, supporting the notion that what? Family dogs represent a more significant threat than often is realized. And that among the breeds identified, pit bulls are proportionately linked with more severe bite injuries. They specified family dogs are the most dangerous, pose the greatest threat. And I thought it was funny that this surfaced at the same time they tried to showcase a family pit bull and repeatedly show the child with the pit bull. Repeatedly even showed the child hugging the pit bull, something they tell you they never do. They flaunt these attacks. They almost rub them in your face. Like, ha ha, look what we're doing. Huh? We encourage the exact behaviors that behaviorists warn you against. We maximize the possibility of an attack and flaunt these young toddlers alone with these killers, things that have killed adults. Look at all the recent stories we've had of fatalities. Right? Several of them have been adults. A good half of them are adults. These are bona fide, well-proven killers. So how is this somehow a sane thing to do? To glorify the pairing of children with the only creatures that rip them apart. I mean, I'm asking for logical sense. I'm not trying to give a moral lecture. And this is the case with all my videos. I know a lot of people feel like I'm giving a moral lecture. You know, no. I demand logic. I demand things to make sense. That's a must. That's required. You know, moral lectures, that's all about, that has more to do with opinion and perspective. That's not worth my time to me, unless I can back it with solid facts. You're going to have to make sense, logical sense, to be taken seriously. Or else people will question you. It's that simple. Our data further validate previous studies that note an increased risk of bites and bite severity in children younger than 5 years. In addition, our data show that bites to the head and neck occur more frequently among children younger than 5 years than among older children. And boys younger than 5 years were bitten more frequently than girls. Those are irrefutably scary stats. Why they're not taken seriously and acted upon is beyond me. Now, the dog world claims to, they disagree. They say, well, we're teaching the children to behave themselves. We're telling them not to pester the dog and pull its ears. But those behaviors never precede an attack. Has yet to be seen, yet to be reported on in an attack story. So this is not an opinion. You literally have nothing to stand on with that argument. You see? So I know it looks like a tall order, but I want you behaviorists, you don't even have to specify me. I want you to respond to the criticism that you're getting. You don't want this to spread. You don't want this to blow up. You don't want millions of people on the same page talking about you and your flawed profession. Or, maybe you understand that it's going to happen and you don't care. Who knows? I'm curious. If I were in that profession, I'd be trying to get out. Now, this is something that I randomly saw earlier today.
Department about that attack, and we have video of the incident. It happened last Sunday. The owner says she was walking her dog when a pit bull appeared and lunged out at them. News 3's Tyler Carmono has been following this story. He talked with the pet's owner and even police, and Tyler is joining us right now with this follow-up.
The video is graphic and hard to watch. It's from a security camera that shows a violent attack involving a pit bull. Today we asked Bryan County leaders if leash laws here are being enforced. Although Bryan County has a law stating
leash laws, are they being enforced? Oh, what about the leash? Now this shows a pit bull mauling a small dog on this video. This is why small children are at the greatest risk. Because pit bulls will often interpret them the same way they do smaller dogs. They view them as prey. And I don't mean they'll mistake them for a dog. That's not what I mean. They'll interpret them the same way. A small, easy target that they can eliminate in competition for food. The dog does not understand that it doesn't need to compete for food. They're programmed to compete for food. That's what the hierarchy is all about. It's about who eats first, who eats last. There's no way you can make it understand that it's not supposed to compete for food. Or you can't force it to not attack just to show dominance. That's an instinct you can't eliminate. You can't erase it. So you have instincts that you can't remove that cause an attack, provokes or motivates the dog to attack. And you want to have a debate? You want to be taken seriously? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now this leash law thing is funny too. This story surfaced 3 days ago. I saw it 3 days ago. I didn't think nothing of it. That's why I didn't share it. Stuff like this happens all the time. But it was funny, all these stories surfaced at the same time, where one sort of disproves the other, as I just showed. And you heard this guy talking about the leash law. Like, hey, what about the leash? Well, this surfaced yesterday, or 2 days ago. I saw this 2 days ago as well. Didn't think nothing of it. And it took a minute for me to put all of these together. Pet Trainers video shows you why you should never introduce dogs on a leash. Huh? I didn't understand that. On a leash, I thought they were safe. So, look at this. There's no physical attack. But look at this. Now you'll hear behaviors say, oh, the body language, the wagging tail. Oh, the stiff body, the posture, it's stiffened. Now they both have the dog on a leash, their dog on a leash. And as you can see, he lost control of his dog. And these are both bully breeds. There's your responsible owner. There's how effective your leash can be. These things are not guaranteed. Like, stop with this preaching of a dog leash. With as many videos as people being pulled down, of people being pulled down by dogs, just one dog can catch anybody of any weight or size, or strength, off guard, off balance. And that is all that it takes. So, I don't want to I'm not going to abandon this channel for anybody wondering. No, I just wanted to put in some work and energy into the other channels. I'm going to always upload content to this channel, right? Feel free to subscribe to both channels. Hope you all are doing well. Your weekend is going well. Life is good and it's easy. I feel I sympathize with people who suffer from social anxiety, who get uncomfortable around people. I think that leads to the obsession with dogs in some cases. But it's very easy. Just keep in mind of how many trillions of people before you lived their life and died. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing about you that's unusual, new, nothing to feel ashamed about. There's no reason for all the insecurities. And there's no excuse for utter stupidity and living a reckless, dangerous lifestyle as this nutter lifestyle. This has to go. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to moderate my new channel. Some of the videos, I monitor the comments before I approve them, but it takes a lot of work. I can do it now because there's not that much traffic on the channel because it's new. But like with this channel, I couldn't do that because a lot of the old channels still getting comments. It would be way too much work. Yeah, I'm going to be very careful. Very careful. I always do. I never intentionally try to break the YouTube rules. I try to stay within the rules always. But you never know. I recently got another strike for an old video. An old video I made years ago. Right? So I'm serving another strike right now as I speak on this channel. So, your channel could come down at any time. It's all about whether or not they want it to come down or not, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's many of them who are fair. But all it takes is that one. That's not. We're dealing with people. People are people. But regardless, I'm going to still be here. I'm going to still be saying the same thing that I'm saying now. Nothing's going to change. So shout out and good night to everyone. I am live at an odd time. So don't get used to this. Take good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you back on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.